Hello, my name is Daguerre. I was born on November 18, 1787 in a small town near Paris. I first studied to be an architect before I apprenticed under E.M. Daguerre in the Paris Opera. It was there that I fell in love with art and started doing realistic paintings. I then began to think, why can't I just take a picture of someone instead of making them pose for hours while I paint them? That was how I came up with the idea to create the first photographic plate. The plate was made of a thin piece of polished silver and was on top of a copper base. I then figured out how to use different chemicals such as iodine and magnesium to develop the film. My invention was truly revolutionary for the time. There was another man working in this field around the same time that I was, and his name was Joseph Nepis. We worked together to try and figure out how to develop film, and after he died, I figured out the formula. During my lifetime, I never stopped trying to improve what I had discovered. I managed to cut the exposure time from film down from 8 hours to just a half hour. The first types of photos were named after me. They had a long exposure time, but they captured fine detail, and they were called Daguerre types. I also figured out that if you want the photos to remain permanently, you had to use salts when you expose them. You may ask how I figured out how to do that. And the answer is that it was by accident. I accidentally put one of the pieces of copper in a cabinet with a bunch of chemicals, and when I opened it, I noticed that there was a picture on the film. That's how I came to discover that they could be exposed for only a half hour instead of 8 hours. The public was not overly excited when I told them my invention. I then gave the French Academy of Sciences a detailed description of my process. I was praised by Francois Daguerre and eventually convinced the French government to buy the rights to my product. So as they say, all's well that ends well, and that is my life.